the first thing you think of when you hear of a school like Stanford or MIT? Do you think of all the great education that you can get at one of those schools? Do you think of the prestige that you can get when you go to one of those schools? Or maybe you even think of the high tuition costs that are accompanied with going to one of those schools. On the other hand, when you hear a school like Chico State, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it the diverse community that lives around and goes to Chico State? Or is it maybe even the great education that have at Chico State? Or maybe it's all the partying and drinking that happens at Chico State. If you thought of that last thing, then you think like the majority of people. According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, in 2013, it reported that 59.4% of all college students ages 18 to 20 reported drinking within the past month. With the majority of us, if not all of us, being under the legal age to drink, it's very important that we all be informed on underage drinking. My name is Doug Andrews, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about underage drinking. First, I'm going to be going over some statistics to show you guys how prevalent underage drinking is in today's society. Then, I'm going to be going over the different punishments that you can receive for underage drinking. And lastly, I will conclude by telling you guys about underage drinking here in Chico. So first off, according to the SADD, or Students Against Destructive Decisions, in 2012, it reported that during the past month, 1 out of every 4 underage persons ages 12 to 20 drank alcohol, and that 1 out of 6 underage persons binge drank within that same age group. With this many young people reported to be drinking at that young of an age, it's very important that more people are informed about the dangers and risks that accompany underage drinking. In addition, according to the CDC, or Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in 2014, it reported that people who start drinking under the age of 15 are 5 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence or abuse later in their lives compared to those that start drinking at the age of 21 or above. Knowing this, we can see that underage drinking can have both short and long-term effects. Short being effects lasting like maybe the day after being hungover or just being buzzed or drunk from currently drinking. We can also now see that underage drinking has long-lasting effects like alcohol abuse and alcoholism later in life. Furthermore, from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, from a 2007 study, they reported that every year on average there are 5,000 people that die due to alcohol-related deaths that are under the age of 21. Knowing this is shocking, and now that we know all these statistics about underage drinking, we are able to see how prevalent it is in today's society. Now to go over the different punishments that you can have for underage drinking. Underage drinking, as defined by the National Institute on Alcoholism and Alcohol Abuse, defines underage drinking as anybody under the legal age of 21 that consumes a drink of alcohol. A first offense for violating this results in a fine of $250 and 24 to 32 hours of community service that does not interfere with your school or employment. A second offense to this would result in a fine not to exceed $500 and 36 to 48 hours of community service that again does not interfere with your school or employment. In any case, a conviction will result in a 1-year driver's license suspension by the DMV. So not only is the punishment for underage drinking both timely and cost a lot of money, but it can also result in you losing your license for over a year. Now that I've gone over the different punishments that are associated with underage drinking, I will now be going over how underage drinking is relevant to us here in Chico. According to the KRCR News, in 2013, they reported that on average, there are 1,600 alcohol-related crimes in Chico a year. And it also reported that 35% of all arrests in Chico are booze-related. With over 6,000 reported crimes a year in Chico, that would mean that over 1/6 of all the crimes happening a year in Chico are alcohol-related. Now, it's likely that all these crimes are not committed by underage people, but it is very likely and quite surmisable that quite a few, if not maybe even the majority, are actually still happening because of underage drinking. In addition, according to a Chico State campus case study from 2005 titled Confronting College Student Drinking by Esteban and Schaefer, it reported that more than 8 out of 10, or 85% of college students at Chico reported drinking at least once within the past month. It also reported that 35% of incoming freshmen are already binge drinkers. So not only is drinking very big here in Chico, but underage drinking stems further back to where people come from before even coming to Chico. Clearly, underage drinking is a very, very big problem. And statistics help us to see how big of a problem and how relevant that really is in today's time. We now also know that the punishment for underage drinking can be pricey, time-consuming, and can affect your personal record. And we also just last went over that underage drinking affects the vast majority of people at Chico State, and while Chico State is an epicenter for underage drinking, that underage drinking starts for many people before even coming to Chico State. Now that we know all this, I will leave you with these last few statistics. Last year, there were over 5,000 underage drinking deaths, 690,000 assault cases involving underage drinking, 97,000 college sexual abuse cases, 599,000 underage drinking injuries, and 150,000 college students reporting to have developed at least some sort of health problem related to drinking. So now that you know all this, are you going to be a part of the statistics, or are you going to be apart from the statistics?